First announced at E3 2010, Sorcery enchanted us with the allure of casting spells and brewing potions through the use of motion controls. It's easily the most enticing concept we've encountered, and one with the potential to help the move crack in a big way. Has Sony finally found the magic, or is this another black mark on Move's bumpy history?
Whoa! That's pretty wicked!
My mother is Lady Everfair, the queen of the fairy realm.
In Sorcery, you play the role of a young apprentice named Finn, who's studying under the tutelage of Master Sorcerer Dash. One day when Dash is out on errands, you go against his wishes and ruin a powerful potion the old man had been working on. Taking the advice of your feline companion Erline, the two of you set off to find the ingredients to concoct another brew before Dash returns. However, soon into the excursion, a powerful witch breaks free and threatens to destroy mankind. Feeling the rush of finally being on a real adventure, Finn and Erline team up to stop her before it's too late.
Make for the docks! We have to find Dash!
Sorcery starts off on a lighthearted note, but it soon takes a turn for the dramatic and delves into darker themes. Its fairy tale story, full of wonder and adventure, will appeal to those of all ages. The writing ultimately holds the plot back from reaching its true potential, but the story is worth seeing through to the end nonetheless.
Whoa! Look at me!
Bad idea. Incredibly stupid, awful idea.
Come on, these guys are pushovers. Let's see what's inside.
Your quest to save the kingdom whisks you away to a fantasy world where you'll fight increasingly more difficult creatures. You don't have total freedom in exploring levels. Instead of an open environment, Sorcery strings you along through its scripted events with very little backtracking. There are occasional branching paths with a hidden treasure or two waiting at the end for the bold, but for the most part, you're confined to where the game wants you to go. It's not suffocating by any means, and there's a good balance between the action and puzzle solving, with plenty of quieter moments so you can catch your breath.
There's strong magic up ahead. I can feel it.
As an apprentice, you start off with limited skills that lack much variety, but over the course of the game, you'll obtain power-ups that grant you new elemental abilities. Your spells aren't the only thing that can evolve either. You can permanently increase certain passive abilities by tapping into the game's alchemy system, which allows you to brew potions using raw materials you've collected. The system works much like a skill tree you'd see in an RPG, and new potions are only available after you experiment with the ingredients, which is sure to appease the curious.
You're a sheep.
Puzzles are few and far between and mostly comprise of waving your wand in a direction to toss pillars or hitting switches with a blast of magic. Except for only a few scant instances that required more intricate thinking, the puzzles aren't very creative. Most of the challenge comes from figuring out how to take down some of the more fearsome monsters and bosses you encounter down the road, where you'll need quick reflexes and mastery of your repertoire of spells if you want to have any chance of success. This may look like a tame game on the surface, but the challenge can really ramp up down the stretch.
I got a plan.
Tell me.
I fight the elf.
That's not a plan. That's suicide.
Though the game will last around 10 or so hours to complete, Sorcery is a bare-bones experience devoid of any extras, such as new costumes or additional modes, other than the single-player campaign. Considering you can't even select to replay from the start of a level, there's little incentive to come back for seconds.
We could be anywhere.
This looks like... Lock Barrow?
Hurry! We don't have much time.
Sorcery puts the move to good use, incorporating very basic gesture-based controls to cast the spells that let you take out enemies, solve puzzles, and make your way through treacherous landscapes. Producing magic is easy enough. Simply flick your wrist to conjure up elemental attacks, and make circular motions to change the precise nature of your spell. Shaking your controller like a maraca gets tiresome, but when you finally unlock new elements, you can combine these spells in real time to produce more powerful attacks. This is where the game is at its best, and there are ample opportunities to take advantage of mixing magic to beat the odds.
The fire! The fire is coming for us all!
It all works well when you're given enough time, but in the midst of the chaos when you're being assaulted by multiple foes, it's too easy to slip up and cast the wrong spell. There is a slowdown mechanic in place when trying to change elements, but often it's not adequate, and it doesn't help that the move doesn't always accurately register your motions, leading to some unintended consequences. It's a nuisance, but the problem never spirals out of control enough to ruin the experience. With a bit of patience, it's easy to overcome the learning curve and enjoy the motion controls. The rest of the motion-based actions work perfectly fine, whether it's trying to solve a puzzle with directional swings, or brewing a potion by shaking the controller, or making a stirring motion. It's a cut above what you'd find in other similar games, like the recent Harry Potter entries, but it doesn't get so complex that you feel overwhelmed, and most importantly, wishing you had a way to engage the game with traditional controls.
Stop talking talking and be on your guard. Look at the birds. We can fly.
The scenic vistas of Sorcery range from the bright and cheery countryside to the dark and gloomy ruins and forests. Environments are diverse and draw you in, but the sometimes goofy animations of Finn and the rest of the cast will slap you back to reality. The game tends to chug along every now and then, even though the visuals hardly push the envelope. The banter between Finn and Erline has its moments, and the score is comprised of thundering battle themes and mellow fantasy tunes that appropriately set the mood.
There was no other way.
I let the years slip by, hiding from danger, when I should have run out to meet it.
Sorcery embraces the move's functionality to deliver something only possible with gesture-based controls, even if they're still not quite optimal. It's unfortunate that Sony couldn't muster a more complete package with extra content and incentive to come back after completing the single-player mode. As it stands, Sorcery conjures up just enough magic to bewitch those looking for a story-driven adventure, but its enchantment isn't quite bewitching enough to make it a must-own experience.
Don't look so surprised.